Hi guys, it's Hot Mess Mama. It's Hot Mess Mama. Let's notice the level of alcohol in this bottle. It's been a rough week, folks. Rougher than usual. So let me break it down for you like this. Let me just also, I don't know if this is gonna come out upside down or what, but it says Mommy's Medicine on it. One of my very dear friends, soon to be hopefully sister-in-law, sent me this because she knows the struggles. I'm hiding in my office. My dog is barking in her crate. My kids are listening to television way too loud. I threw some grilled cheese sandwiches at them, and I'm hoping it's gonna keep them quiet for a while. My phone is now ringing from an 800 number, probably someone trying to sell me something. Husband is in California. You know, he moved to California as part of the relocation back in January, and I've been alone here in North Carolina with 2 kids. Sales call. So I'm staying here in North Carolina so that I can sell the home here and hopefully have my kids finish the school year. This is fun stuff going on. I'm here to sell the house here in North Carolina while my husband is trying to buy a house in California. And I want my kids to finish out the school year here in North Carolina. And my mother just sold her house in Chicago, which means I now have to go to her home this week to pack up her house. Hey, Ellen. My life is a clusterfuck at this very moment. I'm shutting my door and locking it before I kill someone. I don't know. Stop. I may kill a dog. I may kill 2 little children. I don't know at this point. I don't know who I'm going to kill first, the dog, the telemarketer, or my 2 children, my darling children that I love so much. How are you, Ellen? What's going on? Hi, Ellen. I'm so glad that somebody is out there because I am alone in my misery. Because to add to this massive cluster of my life that's going on right now, my kids have been sick. So like my daughter was sick for a while and they deemed that she had strep. They tested her for strep. And then my son got sick and they said, well, because she had strep, he's got strep. So let's put him on antibiotics too. And I thought that they were well. And then my son came like last week on Friday, like had 104, all of a sudden out of nowhere, had 104-degree fever. And I was like, and it was in the middle of the night. I'm like, I don't know at what point I need to take him to the hospital. Right, so I'm like pumping him full of Tylenol, trying to reduce his fever, trying to figure out what's going on. He's delirious, feels like crap. I said, feels like it's gonna explode. He's hacking up a lung. So I kept him home, you know, we tried to keep him rested. I was watching him. The first thing, like on Monday or whatever, I took him into the docs and I was like, you need to test him for something because it really scared me because his fever was so high. Oh, no, negative for strep, negative for flu. It's just something viral. Isn't it funny how doctors always, when I think it's like some sort of code. Ellen, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's some sort of code that doctors, when they really don't know what's going on with your child and why they're sick, they just say it's viral. Because if they say it's bacterial, they have to give antibiotics. If they say it's viral, it's just like this mystery viral. It is not champagne, and no, you can't have it, and you need to go.
I want it! I'm panicking! Mom.
You both need to go out and watch your very.
Something's wrong with it, okay? Yeah. Hello, this is Alice. Mom, thank you for coming. Ow.
Both of you go out there, finish your grilled cheese that I slaved over, and your tomato soup. Please, I'm begging you. You need mommy. Please, seriously. Kimberly's feeling better because we'll get to that. Please, out. Do I need to lock you out? Out. I love you, but I don't want to see you or hear you unless you're on fire or bleeding. Thank you very much. Yep, unless you're on fire or bleeding, I don't want to hear about it right now. And it's been raining for like, I don't know, 2 weeks straight. And so the kids have been cooped up inside. And so that's adding to the, their climbing up the wallness. Anyways, so took him, and then so they said, oh no, it's just something viral, right? And I'm like, oh, I love it when they say viral. And of course, then like he has to stay home from school because he's got the fever. And like one day turns into 2 days, and another day, and another day, and another day. And every day I keep thinking, oh, I'll take him to school. But like, you know what? The rule is that if your kid has a fever, your kid cannot return to school unless they are fever free without any medicine aid. Like they can't have like Tylenol on board and not have a fever, because Tylenol is a fever reducer. They have to be without any medication, 24 hours fever free. Well, his fever went down from 104, but it was like 102. And then, he would wake up with these fevers, and he'd have fevers all day. And like, he'd be like, he wouldn't want to eat and he wouldn't want to drink. And all he wanted to do was sleep. And I knew it was bad because I was like, he didn't even want to watch television. He just wanted to like lay with a blanket over his head, and he was sweating, and it was nuts. And he was coughing so hard that he was like, his abs were hurting. More wine. I know, more wine, right? Like, yes. Can you hear them screaming outside my door saying my butt's on fire, my butt's on fire? Like, I don't even know why I bothered with dirtying the glass, because I could seriously just drink this right out of the bottle. And I, had not anticipated, like I'm supposed to be, like I'm doing really well with like healthy eating and healthier lifestyles and not drinking so much. But like, and I even thought about like what I was going to give up for Lent. And I was like, there's no way I could give up alcohol for Lent. There's no way I can give it. I will try to reduce it down to a Friday night wine thing, and maybe just one glass. No, maybe I just need to limit it to one bottle, because look, it's like 5:15 and I'm already almost one bottle in, because it was like 4:30 and I'm like, I'm sorry, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I can't. So yeah. So they say, oh no, you just gotta write it out. It's viral. His fever will go down. No big thing. We've been seeing this all over town. So day after day after day after day, he has his fevers, and I can't take him to school. So like, my daughter has to be sleeping with him in his bed right now because her bed is broken. That's a whole nother story, because the two of them were jumping up and down in her bed and like splintered, like shattered her bed. So they were sleeping together, and now they can't sleep together because he's sick. So I have my daughter sleeping in my bed, and I'm basically sleeping on the couch or sleeping with her in my bed. And he's sleeping upstairs in his bed, like in delirium because of his high fever. So still taking daughter to school, son staying at home, and he's like a wet towel. He's like just totally lethargic, won't eat, won't drink, won't do anything. And I'm like, literally, I look at him and I'm like, this is not gonna be any fun for you. Like, so like, if you're gonna have to do your homework, because like the teachers are gonna send home your homework every day, and you're gonna have to come with mommy on all of her errands. And you're gonna, this is, hopefully, I'm trying to give him as much rest as he can, but like life has to go on, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, when is my daughter gonna get whatever it is that he has? When am I gonna get whatever it is that he has? Daughter's still going to school, taking care of son. And so like the entire last 7 days, the entire week he's been out. And when the homework comes home, I kid you not only do we get the homework, but we also get all the work that they do in class during the day. So literally the homework comes home, and it's like 3 hours of homework with him every night with a delirious, sweaty child. So yeah. And then Lent happens, right? So like I have to drag him to Ash Wednesday Mass with me, and we have the can't eat meat on Wednesday, can't eat meat on Friday, because we're Catholic and we're practicing that. I know, what? I know, just no, right, Ellen? Like, no. So yeah, doesn't matter, because the kid is like literally living off of ramen noodles, Gatorade, popsicles, and like whatever. Goldfish crackers, for whatever reason, is something that he can apparently tolerate. And like, I've been like trying my hardest to pump him full of like fresh squeezed lemonade loaded with honey, because that was something else the doctors had suggested. Oh, and Tylenol and ibuprofen and Benadryl, like, and anything, and cough syrup and cough drops and anything I can, like children's Vicks Vapor Rub. Like, when was the last time you rubbed Vicks Vapor Rub on anything? Yeah, that's kind of the desperation of what I've been dealing with. So yeah, today was, and so I was like, okay, I gotta bring him into like emergency now to see the doctor again. And so they basically said, well, we can't make an appointment for you. I called them yesterday, can't make an appointment for you, but what we can do is like, if you want to come here tomorrow, being today, at 7:30 when we open up for like walk-in hours, we can see you right away and we'll do another throat culture and just verify it's not a repeat of strep, because maybe the medicine we gave him before wasn't. Yeah, and the smell makes you gag. My son seems to like it for whatever reason. But anyway, so they were like, we'll bring him in and we'll do another throat culture, see if maybe it's a repeat of strep. Maybe the medicine we gave him before wasn't strong enough for that particular strand of virus. And I'm like, okay, well, like, that means that I literally have to be in their parking lot at 7 a.m. because everyone is going to be in line waiting to get into the doors at 7:30 to be seen. And I'm not going to be like 15th in line when I still have to get my other child, my daughter, to school by 8 a.m. with the 7:30 open time. 7:30, the doors to the doctor's office opens, and I have to have my daughter to school at 8 o'clock. So I was literally 6:45 sitting in the parking lot waiting for the doors to open at 7:30 with my two kids. Like, I literally threw like Cheerios at them and a juice box and said, let's watch a movie until the doors open, kids. Got him in, did the throat culture, did the examination, everything. She says, negative for strep, and he was tested negative earlier for flu. So it's viral. So, but you know what? He's literally sore in his abdomen because he is hacking so much. He is that uncomfortable. She's like, so we'll just have to give him some palliative care. We're going to prescribe him a steroidal inhaler. First, they couldn't even listen to his breathing because he was hacking so much. They couldn't even listen. So they had to put him on a nebulizer for a while so that it could calm his bronchial, whatever. Then they listened and they said, it's not pneumonia. He seems to be okay, but we can hear that there's some mucus and phlegm in there. So we're going to put him on a steroidal, like, puffer inhaler, you know, like an asthmatic or whatever. And he's going to have to take 2 puffs every morning and 2 puffs every evening for a month. And to add to the fun of this, Ellen, get a load of this, get a load of this. It's not just that. But after every time he puffs, he has to brush his teeth because apparently this like steroid puff has a tendency to give the kids thrush in their mouth. So they have to like take the puff and brush immediately after so that they don't get thrush in their mouth. And so, yeah. But like anything to help this poor kid from like, he seriously is like, Mom, at this point, he's like, my stomach hurts. Ellen, have you ever gone through that before, Ellen, with this puffing thing? Like he's never been to the point where, my kids have never been to the point where their like bronchial tubes are so weak and not scarred, but like sore and hurt and scratchy that they had to get to that level. For a month, he has to do these puffs. Does it suck? And then like, I'm worried, like, is it gonna make him wired? Like, cause like some kids have an adverse reaction to the inhalant steroids. Yeah, so there's that. So yeah, I literally dragged him all over the planet today. Okay, listen to this, wait. Ethan had the flu once. Yeah, you know what? He was tested for flu, right? Tested negative. But even when I walked in today, they're like, you know what? What was hyper? Thanks. That's super helpful. Super helpful. Encouraging. So what they did say to me is that when they do the flu test, like they swab your, what do they swab when they swab? When they do the flu test, they swab your nose. And when they do the strep test, they swab your throat, right? And they said, well, here's the thing. With the strep test, it's like 90% accurate. But with the flu test, it's only like 70% accurate. So we get a lot of false negatives. And I'm like, that's so comforting. That would have been good to know when they shoved something up my child's nose this week. Okay, so had my kids in the car, in their pajamas, at the doctor's office with Cheerios and juice boxes at 6:45 this morning. Got in, did the swabs, everything negative, said just put them on the steroid inhaler. flew back across town to drop off my daughter so she could be at school. Late, mind you, but she got to school. Then I had this series of random errands that I had to do because my husband, God bless him, I've been asking him, what do I do with this, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. He says, don't do anything until I tell you. And of course, he tells me last night at midnight, you got to do these things, and it's urgent, so you have to do it immediately tomorrow. So awesome. So what do I have to do? I have to go to my son's tutor to pay for his tutoring lessons. Hey, Brooke, how are you? Brooke, we need a cocktail. My kids are sick cocktail, and I need survival. I had to pay my child's tutoring bill. And of course, she doesn't take PayPal. She doesn't take credit cards. You have to write a check and physically deliver it to her hands in her office. I had this 20-page contract for our relocation that I needed to get notarized, right? So I go to the UPS store to get it notarized. And they're like, oh, our notary isn't until 11. So go run some errands. Oh, yeah, you had one. Raspberry martini. Oh, okay, tell me what's in it, Brooke, because I'm running low on the wine. So I run to the UPS to get my stuff notarized. The notary's not here till 11, so go run some errands. So paid the bill for the tutoring, ran across town to get the prescription filled for my son's puffer. But again, I can't give it to him because he has to brush teeth immediately after. Do I have a toothbrush and toothpaste and a spit basin for my child to be doing that? No. So I head back to the UPS store. UPS is like, oh, there's a line of people. You had it at a restaurant, so yummy. Okay, you'll research. There was a line of people at the UPS store at 11 o'clock waiting to have stuff notarized. So I finally get to my place and keep in mind, my son is in the car watching a movie waiting for me to get these documents notarized. And the guy's like, okay, I just need to tell you, as he's flipping through this packet that has a binder clip on it, that each time that I watch you sign this document and I have to put my stamp seal on it, it costs $5. So I stood there and counted how many stamps and signatures I had to put onto this document for our relocation. 17 times $5. So I promptly turned around and walked out, and I was like, where the hell am I going to get this thing notarized? And of course, you can get it done at a bank. We have 2 bank chains in town. One is constantly busy. I could wait in line for hours to be seen with my sick child who could be contagious. And there's no one on the other side of town, which is not so busy. So I make the effort to then go all the way across town to the not so busy bank. And I get in there and I'm like, hi, I'm here and I need to see one of your notaries. I looked on my little app and I see that you have a notary here and I need to get these things notarized because it'd be free because it's my bank, right? And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. We only have one notary and she's out sick today. So you're going to have to go back to the other branch. I was like, the other branch, I left that branch because it's going to be an hour wait and I have a sick, contagious child. Still in his pajamas. And keep in mind, I haven't showered and I'm braless and I am in sweatpants and probably yesterday's underwear. And so what happens is then I'm like, okay, I'm going to haul my ass all the way across town again with my sick kid in tow. This is stop number 5 for the morning. And it's 11 o'clock at this point. Get out to the other branch. And I was like, hi, I'm here to have these documents notarized. Like, okay, we'll, put you on our systems and there'll be a little bit of a wait because, it's lunchtime, so they're on break. And I was like, great, I'll make sure that my son coughs extra hard in your face. So we finally get seen, and this guy was so great because he was really detailed, and I appreciated the fact that, but literally this thing was 30 pages long. I had to sign it 17 times. 17 times. And each time he had to watch me sign it. He had to review all the documents. He had to write his name and all of his information and then do the stamp. And of course, the stamp had to be completely legible or would not be acceptable from this company. So finally, it took over an hour to get this document notarized. And then I had to then haul across the town to the other side of town again because I had to have the documents overnighted to my husband in California. So these documents now have to be overnighted to my husband in California, who now has to sit with a notary to have his signatures notarized. For effing real, right? So yeah, so I had again left my son in the car while I went into the post office to get all of this stuff sent out. Oh, let's rewind. In the middle of all this, I had to go home to my house because I had to have an electrician come to my house to replace breakers. Hey, Dana. Donut? Okay, now you're a donut, Dana. I had to have an electrician come to my home to replace breakers on a switchboard because someone said that the breakers weren't good. And of course, like, we're in the middle of a home sale. And heaven forbid we have a bad breaker. So yeah. Then, I don't even know. Then finally, I don't. Okay, great. She's done with her soup. Dana, she's done with her soup. What do you need help with? I think you are so good. I think you can eat your carrots. I think you can eat your carrots all by yourself. She's poor. Why can't you eat a fucking carrot? Why? So finally I get home, and by this point I'm like, and it's a meatless Friday. I'm like, throw a peanut butter sandwich. That's my daughter. She's sitting up against my door, banging on the door. Hey, Sam. Sam, you know how I said like I don't need any more wine? I might at some point. That's my daughter. Banging. She's sitting with her back up against my door going bang. Hey, I think you can eat your carrots and hey, if you can eat your carrots in 5 minutes, I'll give you a cookie. I'll give you a pony. How about a mermaid? Nothing's working, folks. Nothing's working. So, I don't even know where I just left off. But yes, so that like at some point, like I got my child home. And I'm like, I feel like we've been in the car all day. We were literally in the car all day. I think I may have like put 200 miles on my car today. Got him fed, had to finish some more homework, and it's like Dr. Seuss week right now, and so like every day it's a new Dr. Seuss something or other, and he had this like, one of his homework assignments was this like word find, where he had to find, first he just scramble the words, and then he had to find the words in like the word find, right, you know, and the words were like Nebuchadnezzar, and like thing 1 and thing 2, and Wetzel, and 1 foot, 2 foot, and Dr. Seuss. I mean, like, there were words that were not even English, so there's no way that he could figure them out. So I was like, okay, at what point do you just do the freaking homework for your kid? Because there's no way your delirious, 7 days sick, 104-degree fever child is going to be able to know. First, finding like normal words like car and cat are difficult, right? Raspberry mojito, need the recipe. There's no way that child is going to be able to figure out basic words, let alone these like Dr. Seuss fiddle skittles words, right? So I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to decode these and I'm going to circle them like a sloppy 7-year-old and call it a day. Ooh, posted, perfect. Call it a day. I hope I have the ingredients for whatever it is, this raspberry mojito. I'm assuming that it's probably Chambord. Is it Chambord or like a razzmatazz vodka or something? I don't know, but I need some in my life. Yeah, so Meatless Friday. I can handle Meatless Friday. Wineless Friday? Absolutely not. I was like thinking, and I posted this, like 3 reasons why I did not give up wine for Lent. 1, wine is yummy. 2, wine is cheap to some extent. And 3, kids. Kids. That's my answer. So then, okay, after all this craziness, trying to help my son with his homework, trying to push the Gatorade, trying to keep him healthy, trying to deal with all this madness that's going on in my house, pouring down rain, and I'm trying to take my dog out in the rain. I have to go pick up my daughter, come back home, and deal with this. And the screaming at each other and like, Mom, he licked my butt. Licked my butt. sugar, water, rum, ice, mint leaves, simple syrup, raspberries, sparkling water. That's a lot of ingredients there, Brooke. Like, I need, like, to be able to, like, dump, gulp. Although, if I had raspberries, I might go for it. But I'm thinking Chambord's kind of got a raspberry, blackberry feeling. I know, keep drinking, Mom. I was listening to this really interesting podcast. I think someone may have let my dog out. Hey, Bernadette! When your son was under breathing treatments, they would act like they never did before, all over the place. I know, I'm telling you, like, they've got like an extender, and then they've got like the inhaler, like the traditional inhaler. I'm worried that my son is gonna be like a psychotic creep show. But like they even told me, my doctors are like, you're gonna want to put him on Benadryl at night, not only just because it soothes like the pain sensors or the stimulators down here, and it just lets them sleep. What is gonna soothe this and let me sleep? But like, I still need to be responsible. I have to take care of 2 children and a dog by myself. My kid has soccer tomorrow. I already told the soccer coach, I'm like, sorry, buddy, it ain't happening. He's not coming. My daughter, she's got swim lessons in the morning. I've got people coming to look at stuff I'm trying to sell. Please stop banging. Please stop banging. Hey, Zana. Hey, Zana, why are you banging? What do you want me to help you with? My carrots. She's 4. Board the dog. I know, I thought about boarding the dog, but she is the least of my concerns. Really? Like when my son is by himself or my daughter is by herself, totally fine. You put the 2 of them together and it's like a powder keg. Living in a powder keg and giving off sparks. I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Brenda, what'd you say? It is after the meds. Bernadette. Okay, so I read this. Happy International Women's Day, by the way. Like, I really thought it'd be cool to celebrate Women's Day, but I'm like, I'm just like celebrating survival at this point. Like, and I was trying to be good. I'm like, I'll eat my little vegetable frittata. No, like, okay. By the way, FYI, when you see crustless quiche, it's just a fancy way of saying it's a frittata. So like, I'm supposed to have no carbs at night with my trainer. And I'm not supposed to have any of this with my trainer. Okay, so I'm good on the no carbs thing. I'm eating this like vegetable frittata / crustless quiche. But the wine is survival, people. It's like, seriously, it's 5:36. My kids are gonna be up for at least another 2 hours, and I don't know. They need to keep me away from the knives because I might just slit these at some point. Split them open like geysers. So I was listening to this podcast. Wait, why is a must? I know I can give up the rest. I can totally give up the rest. Like I thought, like I have given up a lot of things for Lent in my past. I've given up alcohol once. That was really rough. I gave up sex once. That wasn't so hard because I'm an old woman and I'm exhausted. I gave up chocolate once. I gave up ice cream once. I gave up yelling at my husband once, and that lasted about 20 days. That was impressive. Seriously, she is going to bruise herself from banging on that door. Zana! Hey, Zana. If you eat a carrot by yourself, what do you need help with? You can put it in your mouth and chew it. Again, why did I even bother dirtying a glass? Don't know. Okay, so I was listening to this podcast. I thought it was really interesting. It's called, Zana, please stop begging. I will literally give you $1 million if you please stop begging. I will give you more chocolate than you can, like, shake a tail feather at. Hey, Zana, I'll give you jelly bean if you stop banging. I'll give you a cookie if you stop banging. What's the equivalent to a kid? What is the equivalent? Mom's wine. What's the equivalent to a kid? I don't know. Okay, so happy International Women's Day. We're awesome. Take the door off, then she's just gonna come in here, Brooke. What kind of solution is that? I can't. The door is broken. You need to go eat your carrot. Are you on fire? No. Are you bleeding? No. Then go eat your carrot. So yeah. So I was listening to this I was listening to this podcast. It was really interesting, and they were talking about this like phenomenon called, I had to write it down, drunkorexia. And apparently it's kind of rampant with the kids in college these days. But like, I totally get it. Drunkorexia. And it's labeled towards women, and drunkorexia towards college students. So drunkorexia is basically like this whole concept of like, I am going to starve myself all day so that I can go out and drink at night because I want to save my calories for the alcohol, number one. And then there's the drunkorexia that's like the male version, and they're like, I'm going to starve myself all day because I'm going to go out at night and I'm going to drink myself the money because I don't have the money to pay for the cocktails. So the women are saving the calories so they can drink. The men are saving the money on the food so they can drink. I'm just saving my sanity at this point. That's an empty glass, folks. I would love to hear any suggestions that you may have. I've done Lego sets. Bernadette, I know, you feel me? I've done Lego sets. I've read books. I have watched movies. We have sat by the fire. We have built forts. We have had popcorn when we could eat. Gatorade, lemonade, honey, every kind of over-the-counter drug you can imagine. Prescription antibiotics, now inhalers, dehumidifiers, essential oils. Listen to that, no more banging. No more banging. She's in a drawer, I think now. I'm frightened because I don't know what she's into. When they get quiet, that's the scariest part. Going on, but it's quiet night. That makes me a little nervous. I know, right? Woohoo. Like normally I would say woohoo, but like sometimes when it's quiet, it's not a good thing. I don't know, but it's kind of blissful. Wait. Perler at Michael's. What's that? Brooke, tell me more. What's that? What's that? Brooke, more. I need more. Okay, so now that you guys have like hung out with me for this almost entire broadcast, you need to know a couple things. One, I need some serious, I know the quiet makes me totally nervous. I need some serious prayers here. People like call in your prayer circles because we're working on negotiations on selling our house here in North Carolina. Like someone is putting an offer in on the house. And we also have a contract out on a house in California. So like pray that the stars align, that this house in North Carolina sells without serious issue, and that like the house in California is purchased without serious issue. And that like it'll work out with the schooling situation with my kids and the situation with my mom, how I'm trying to like move her out of her house. Yeah, Bernadette, find it, because shaving cream, food coloring eggs, I did that once last year, I think, but it didn't turn out right, so maybe you have a better tip. Anything to keep my kids from climbing the walls and me not slitting my wrists. Okay, so wait. So, serious prayers on the sale of this house. Serious prayers on the purchase of the house in North Carolina. Serious prayers on me not like losing my mind, helping my mother move out of her house in Chicago. And being apart from my husband and my sick kids. How does anybody do this stuff sober? Like, seriously. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Oh, she's in drawers now. She's in drawers now. That's that's madness. She's drying the doorknob. Okay, something to keep my kids occupied while it's raining. Something to try to keep them healthy. I'm trying anything. Someone's like Sambucol, isn't that like some sort of like berry or herb, Sambucol or something? Literally, I feel like I've tried everything. All right, at this point, I probably should be the responsible parent. I hear it's too quiet. Crap with shaving cream. Shaving cream crafts. Seriously, we're stressed to the max right now. I'm telling you, let me tell you, like, I was like, okay, you know what? I'll take my kid to the doctor, take my daughter to the school, and I'll get home at some point and shower. There has been no shower. I'm braless in sweatpants and 2 jackets. Haven't brushed my teeth. Did I eat today? I may have had some yogurt at some point. And grapes. Ooh, okay, Brooke just sent me something on YouTube. Okay, there's something on YouTube. I don't know what it is, but I need to go and watch it. At this point, it's 5:45, and nobody has time for this mess anymore. But any kind of prayers, I know, I just saw it. Any kind of prayers, any kind of mojo, any kind of suggestions that you have to alleviate this cluster madness of my life right now, I will reach through my phone and hug you. I will reach through the phone and hug you. You're painting. Painting for my kids, but that's a mess. And I can't afford to have my house be a mess because I'm still showing it for sale. That's another whole, like, can of worms. Like, my house has to be spotless and clean at every moment of the day because someone is going to come and want to see my house. The banging is starting again. The banging is starting again. The bottle is almost empty, people. The bottle is almost empty, people. The bottle's almost empty. Fun. Run laps around the house. I would totally say that if it wasn't running and my backyard has turned into a mud pit because it's been raining for like 10 days straight. Please pray. Please pray or chant. Or just have a good laugh. I don't know, whatever, but like something. Banging has started again. I should probably address that. Balloons, punching bag. Who, me punching? Hi. I know, like, are your children sick? This is a lovely woman who is at school with my children. And I hope that your kids aren't sick. Like, Zana is completely healthy. Enzo, not so much. So I hope your kids are okay. Like, I feel everyone, all the teachers are telling me and everyone in town are telling me that there's like this horrible strand of flu that's going on. Wine delivery. Like, I have plenty of wine because I've got cases and cases of it actually, which is another sad thing that I'm dealing with because my mother gave me this awesome wine subscription where they deliver like a case of wine every couple of months or every other month or whatever like that. But like when we relocate, the moving company will not move the alcohol. So I've got cases of wine that I need to get rid of before we move. And that could be in like a month if all goes well. Dance party. We don't have a Wii and we don't have a Xbox. But we do dance parties a lot because, you know, I'm that kind of mom. You're going to Florida with the flu? Is it you that has the flu, Bernadette, or do your kids have the flu? Because like I'm freaked out because my kids are sick. Yeah, sweet, that's awesome. I know, like my kids are sick and I have to fly on Monday to my mother's house in Chicago, and she has come home from Europe to close on her house. She's 83 and immunosuppressed, and if I have any kind of illness, I could literally kill her. My kids are with a sitter. They're gonna have to be with a sitter. There's so much of a cluster going on in my life right now. I'm gonna survive this because, you know, God's got me covered. God's kind of freaking awesome. Totally got me covered. And I always praise him for his blanket of protection that he's putting over me because I don't know how I would survive this. A lot at school, and I know a few others that have the flu. I know it's everywhere. And I just read something like online that they're like, okay, you know, this like huge thing of flu that's been rampant. Guess what? There's another strand that I know very little about that is now running rampant all over the United States. I probably fall into that category. Window markers? What do we do with window markers? Do we just draw on the windows with markers? Not good. I know. That's the sound of an almost empty bottle of wine. I'm gonna go now because I need to be responsible. They're called window markers. Is there something I need to buy? Can I get it on Amazon? Because I'm not gonna be leaving the house anytime soon. I'm just saying. Unless it's for this raspberry mojito that you're talking about, because I will make an effort for that, Brooke. Okay, I'm signing off because it's 5:50 and I've been online for about 45 minutes. Thank you for listening to me rant, you guys. It makes me, seriously, I am so alone. Hey, Darlene, I am so alone and I'm so like overwhelmed. I know, like Bernadette, I would totally give you a big hug. You did that with your beer bottle? I know, like listen. I know. I am so overwhelmed with stuff that I had to take care of and crazy ass children that are sick and I am barely keeping it together. And you know, thank God that God's got this covered. That's all I gotta say. Don't tell my trainer, but I think I might just go eat a pizza. I might just order pizza and say, screw the carbs, like bring on the freaking carbs. Love you, Bernadette. Thank you so much. Brooks, I'm gonna watch the stuff that you sent. Darlene, always love the advice that you send over. Love you, moms. Thank you so much for being so awesome and cool and being with me in my most darkest, alonest moments. Remember this as you go to sleep tonight. Isn't it soothing? It's soothing. Good night, mamas. I love you much. Thank you for being you. Have a great weekend.